Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
In episode 420, Jenny Belanger discusses why it's important to keep our websites up and going so we can bring in leads and make sales.
Number 3 is your navigation. So the top part of your website where you're leading people to the different pages on your site. I like to see that top navigation to 5 or less items. Less is more. I find when you have too many options, people tend to get overwhelmed and confused and don't really know what to go to next. So for service providers, typically I say have an option for services or work with me, your about page, then your contact page. And if you have some resources such as a podcast like you do or a blog, you can put them under a resources tab. But I would utilize a drop down for that. So not just if you have both a blog or a podcast, don't list them separately, utilize a drop down under resources. So as I said,
Talking with the Experts.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org. Do you love your podcast and dislike the editing and uploading to the various platforms? Would you like to spend this time with your family and friends or work on your business? Podcast editing doesn't have to be a chore. Talking with the Experts partners with podcasters who need help with audio and content editing. If you'd like to know more, contact me, Rose Davidson, using the link showing now or send me a private message. Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Today, my guest is going to be talking about tips for a money-making website, and I've promised that I'm going to listen very intently to what she has to say. And my guest is Jenny Belanger, and Jenny is the CEO and creative director of Jenny B Designs, which is a creative studio. She helps entrepreneurs and small businesses build websites that communicate and connect with visitors and attract their ideal clients. With a background in nonprofit and corporate marketing and communications, she has been designing websites for 20 plus years. Jenny understands that building a brand and a website can be overwhelming, and she strives to simplify the process so that busy entrepreneurs can be proud of their online presence, land more clients, and get back to business. She lives in Massachusetts with her husband, 2 kids and a dog, and is addicted to her desk treadmill. Wonderful. Yeah, I've seen those advertisers. Maybe I'll get one for down here, but I don't think it would go very well while I'm podcasting. I think it might look a bit sus, actually. Welcome, Jenny, and thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you, Rose. I'm excited to chat all things websites. Yeah.
How did you get into doing what you do?
I come from the nonprofit world, like you shared, and in the nonprofit space, I feel as though you kind of have to wear many hats and you find yourself doing everything. And that's where I really started learning about web design. The nonprofit that I was working with at the time needed a website, and I said, you know what, I'll figure it out. And I did, and I really enjoyed building it. And that's where I started kind of honing my skills and learning about marketing. And that's where I kind of lived for a while, and I had a few side clients in the nonprofit space. And then when my son was born, decided I wanted to take the leap and work for myself full time. And I just focused on web design, mainly with nonprofits and small businesses. And then eventually it started being more and more female entrepreneurs. And that's where I've been for the past 4 years. And it's a space that I really enjoy. I find the entrepreneurial world is similar to the nonprofit space. We kind of have to do it all. And I love to just help other entrepreneurs set up their space online to attract high paying clients and make them money and just really help them shine.
Yeah, I love building websites. I find it really um, creative, and I actually find it relaxing to build. I've built my 3 websites, and I've built websites for others as well. And I just love the creativity of it. I don't sort of like the drag down boxes. I'm not really into that one. I like ones where you have a theme and you can, choose different templates. So I'm really into those ones. But yeah, but I just love building them. I think they're so great.
Yeah, it is. It's very creative. It's a nice outlet, but it's also strategic. So it's like both sides of your brain working at the same time. And it is. It's a lot of fun. I love to just zone out, put on my headphones, and then just design for the day.
Yeah, good. And a lot of businesses are focusing on building a business, and obviously want their websites to, bring in leads and make sales. But how do we do that? How do we design our websites so that they do attract the ideal client?
Yeah, absolutely. I have kind of 5 main tips that I like to share with everyone. The first one, which is the most important, is that everyone is really busy. We're all doing a million things. And so when someone lands on your website, you really need to capture their attention. You have 3 seconds or less. It might even be shorter than that. You need to make sure it's clear who you are, what you do, who you help, and how the person can take the next step with you. So a call to action. And, you know, if you're using fancy words that people can't understand, or you're saying something like, welcome to my website, your prime real estate is wasted. So it's very important to get that landing right. So someone knows that they're in the right space, that you can help them, that, they want to work with you.
Yeah, I know that. Is it above the fold? Is
Yes.
the prime real estate of any website, and that's got to be, as you say, that information needs to be shared like upfront before you go into anything else.
Yes, absolutely. You need to just be clear. Be clear and concise over clever is what I like to say.
Mm. So
Absolutely.
should it have a video, or is it okay just to have words, or is it, a graphic and words, or, what's the best thing to be using? Because I know trends change.
Yeah, that's a great point. Many years ago, you used to see the carousel, the images that change on the hero. Statistics have proven that people don't really stick around to read when they see moving images. So it's great to have one static image. If you are an entrepreneur, perhaps an image of you looking, at the visitor landing, or a video. I really enjoy kind of the B-roll video in the background of you working or of you interacting with the client or of you in your process. And then along with that video or photo, it's very important to have those words that specifically call out, the client that you're working with and how you can help them. So you want to pair the image or the video with the words when someone lands on your site above the fold immediately.
Yeah, and I know it's really important to have like really good quality graphics, and don't use clip art.
Yes. If you can have your own imagery, that's better. There are some there's some clip art websites that aren't like standard clip art, but we all have iPhones. They have incredible cameras on them. So it's better to just stage some pictures, even if you just do it yourself, some high quality images that you can use on your website that really represent you. It makes all the difference in the world that when a potential client actually sees you versus just a stock image that you found online.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there are, you as you said before, you have 5 tips for making up websites and connecting with our visitors. Would you like to share those with us, please?
Yes, that was the first one. So when someone lands, that it's immediately clear. The second tip is that you need to understand the overall goal of your website and that there is a call to action to support that overall goal. For an example, I work with a lot of service providers. For me, let's use me as an example. The first step in my sales process is to book a consultation call. That is the overall goal of my website. And understanding that, making sure that it is reflected throughout the site, that I'm guiding the visitor on the journey so that they make it to my contact page to fill out my form to schedule a consultation call. If you're a product-based business, it could be to shop, if you have a sale line or if you have a specific line that you want people of products that you want people to see, it's always driving people in your website to view those products, to purchase those products. Or if it's a course, making sure that all your copy and your kind of direction that you're guiding people to get to that course page to actually click buy so that you make money. Understanding that overall goal is very important because sometimes I find people say, I need a website. But why do you need a website? You need to understand what you want people to do before you actually go through the process of building it so that it works for you. Because, in my opinion, the main goal of your website is to make money. So, understanding where you want to drive people to is very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And my website, my main website, had that many metamorphoses over the years, just because I think, well, is it appealing? And to me, it's really appealing, and no one said otherwise. However, aesthetics is very important. The overall feel and branding, and make sure that you're on brand all the time, and you're not using 5 different fonts or whatever on your page, and everything's consistent. And I think they matching with the first sort of two points that you've made here, or the tips that you've shared with us. So what's number 3?
Number 3 is your navigation. So the top part of your website where you're leading people to the different pages on your site. I like to see that top navigation to 5 or less items. Less is more. I find when you have too many options, people tend to get overwhelmed and confused and don't really know what to go to next. So for service providers, typically I say have an option for services or work with me, your about page, then your contact page. And if you have some resources, such as a podcast like you do or a blog, you can put them under a resources tab. But I would utilize a drop down for that. So not just if you have both a blog or a podcast, don't list them separately, utilize a drop down under resources. As I said, every time you remove something from your top navigation, what's there becomes more prominent. And if you have your home button in the top navigation, chances are you could remove it because people know when they click your logo, they're taken back home. So again, less is more in that top navigation to drive your visitors to your end goal where you're trying to send them to.
Now, some templates have the ability to have 2 menus, the main menu, and then you have a second menu, which is usually up the top in a small ribbon. Is that advisable or not?
I would say if you have like the announcement bar up at the top, I would say if there's something important, that's how I would utilize that space. If you're, maybe you're having a sale or you have a freebie that you want to promote, that's how I would use that space versus a secondary menu. Because again, like I said, less is more, and we really want to drive people to where we want them to go, and you don't want to give them too many options. So that would be how I would use that secondary space.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yep. Yeah, I agree. It can be a bit noisy, can't it, if you have too many things that people can go to. Food
And
for thought.
applies for your social icons as well. I see a lot of people adding their social icons in that second menu, like you said. I actually encourage people to not have your social icons on your website, at least not in the top. If you want them, add them to the footer. But the goal of your website is to keep people on your site, to drive them to where you want them to go, and you don't want to send them away. So that's why I don't advise having the social icons at the top either in that kind of announcement bar area.
And what is your feeling on putting a contact phone number or an email address? There are so many different opinions about that.
I think it really depends on you. Do you want people to call you? If you do, that's a great add to your website. If you don't, then having an email address, I do think you have to have one or the other. I think there needs to be an easy way for someone to get in contact with you. So either your phone or your email does need to be on your website, but the phone is a personal preference. Like for me, I don't like people just being able to call me all the time. I prefer to have a scheduled time to chat. So I have my email. But I work with a lot of real estate agents, and that's how they connect with others. And they definitely want their phone number on their site. So I think it's a personal preference.
Okay, yeah, good plan. And what's number 4?
Number 4 is we talked about this a little bit earlier, photos of yourself, actual photos versus stock pictures. It's really important to infuse your brand into your website, like we were talking about earlier. And photos are a big piece of the puzzle. So assuring that there's a picture of you, if you are the CEO of your website, if it's not when someone lands, then it's on your about page, sharing kind of a little bit about, your appearance and so that they feel like they get to know you. Your website in your words will, talk to your visitor and they'll get to know you a little bit. And then adding that with your picture will do so much for your trust and credibility. So incorporating pictures of you throughout the site is a really, really a great way to kind of add the next touch and to encourage people to take the next step with you and to make money from your site.
A lot of people think that it's vain, shows vanity if you have too many selfies on your page. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I hear that from business owners who are just starting out. They're a little hesitant to put themselves out there and they don't want to have too many pictures of themselves. But I find that your visitor isn't, counting how many pictures that they see of you. It's more that they're just getting a sense of you as they're scrolling through the page and it's just a feeling that they have. So I don't think you can have too many as long as they're high quality pictures that are warm and welcoming. I think that you can't go wrong with too many pictures of yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
5, tell me about 5.
Okay, 5. I love a good freebie. So this is your opt-in. I call them an irresistible freebie. Many times when someone comes to your website, they are not ready to purchase, especially for someone like me. I have a high ticket item, but I don't want that person to come to my website and then never think of me again. So by offering a freebie, which is a high value item, for me, it's my website personality quiz. They give me their email and I give them a great quiz that shares some ways that they can update their website based on their personality. It's a win-win for both of us. And then I am able to continue the conversation with them beyond just my website and nurture them because eventually one day they might have a problem that I can solve and I will be in their inbox recommending a solution. So it's a great thing to have on your website, a freebie, just a way to continue that conversation so you can build your email list. As your email list is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to making money with your website.
Absolutely. And, should you have 1 or 2 or 3, I have a choice or just 1?
As many as you want, I think, as it pertains to your audience. So if your audience has a bunch of different challenges that you can address, I actually think I might have 6 or 7 on a single page, but I'm focused on sharing just one at this point in time. But as many as you want to create, I think is great because you can share them in situations beyond just your website. In Facebook groups, or if you're in a conversation with someone, you can always share that freebie. And then again, you get that email address and then you can continue the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and, some quick wins too. What are quick wins that don't take very long to implement and then, our conversion rate can go up?
Absolutely. The first quick win, what you can do is I like to say, leave no dead end. We talked about your goal, your overall goal of your website. So in my case, again, it's the consultation call. So scrolling down to the bottom of your home page, what is at the bottom of your homepage? Are you just leaving people hanging, or do you have a button that takes them to the next step in your process? I'm always at the bottom of my page driving the visitor to the next step in their journey so that they never just hang off. So a quick win could be just looking at the bottom of your homepage, seeing if there is a direction to the next step, maybe taking them to your services page or to your shop page, and then just adding that onto the bottom of your homepage. That would be the first thing that you could do. The second thing that you can do is looking at the button in the upper right-hand corner. This is your prime real estate we talked about, and this is a really important piece of the puzzle. That is the main goal of your website. So ensuring that that button goes to where you want people to go. I'm sending people to my contact page. If you own a shop, you should be sending people to your shop page. If you have a course, that button should be buy the course. Whatever the main goal is, just make sure that that button is going to the page. And then the final tip would be on your contact page. When we chatted about photos, I would say add a picture of yourself. This is when the person is going to reach out to you. And a picture could mean the difference between someone hitting send and not hitting send. So just seeing your smiling face and just getting a sense of who you are would encourage more people to actually click that send button. So those are 3 easy tips that you can do in probably 10 minutes or less on your website today that will make a big difference in your conversion rate.
Yeah, and they're really great tips too. I mean, some people don't think about those sorts of things when they're designing their website. And, when I do mine, I just cut and paste and do whatever. But a lot of people do plan it out first, and, do like a vision board, basically. Do you do that with yours, or do you just go in and just design it?
There's a lot that's rooted on strategy and on your brand. So when we work together, we do the mood board and to get a sense of who you are. And then from there, once we have your brand in place, we do kind of the strategy deep dive and put all these pieces of the puzzle together. Because it's so easy, like you said, to kind of just go in and make changes and put things here and there that look pretty, but it's all rooted in strategy and understanding the user journey and what you want them to do, and then just guiding them to get to that action throughout the site. So it's a little bit of both, but everything that I do is always infused with strategy.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. Jenny, what is the one major mistake that service providers do when creating their websites?
We talked about this. It's your brand, not investing time in your brand. It's so easy when we start out, and I'm definitely guilty of this, to just go to Canva, pick some colors, like put a logo together and call it a day. But there comes a point in time where you really need to invest in your visual identity. That's how you are known in the online space. And it carries through to everything that you do. So not only just having a cohesive look and feel and having a beautiful end result in both your brand and your website, but what I found is that for a lot of entrepreneurs, having work done on your brand just brings so much self-confidence and it carries through. And it's a thing that a lot of people are so hesitant to invest in, but I find that once they do, it's just up from there. And so that would be the number one mistake, not investing in your branding early enough in your journey.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very, very conscious of, using the same colors and the same fonts. And, it doesn't matter where I'm in Canva or writing a letter or doing copy on my website. It's all got to be the same. It doesn't matter what I send out. Even an email, it uses the same font as my brand font.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just really conscious of it. Maybe I'm a bit OCD about it. I don't know, but I just find
No.
that to me, it says who I am. Just by doing it's sounds like something quite silly, but it's important to use all of those things in your brand. It doesn't matter if it's an email or your website or copy from Canva to put on your socials.
Yeah, absolutely. It just kind of like infuses everything that you do. I've even found myself picking out clothes, not on purpose, that are like
Yeah.
in my brand colors. Like it just happens. And that's just like, that's the best part. It just like kind of becomes you, and it embodies everything.
Yeah, I broke out today and wore black, and I usually wear purple, so
Yeah, see, there you go.
I just changed it up a little bit.
That's great.
Jenny, you have a podcast?
I have a freebie. I have a quiz that people can go to my website and take. It's What's Your Website Personality? It's a great, super fun quiz. And at the end, you learn your personality and then 3 different ways that you can change your website to make more money with it in your business to reflect your personality. So people can access that on my website at jennybdesigns.com.
Excellent. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't suppose you've written any books about anything that you'd like to share with us?
I haven't, but I have a lot of kind of how-to articles on my website, on my blog. And if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to find me on Instagram at the Jenny B Designs. Shoot me a DM, and I'd be happy to chat. I could chat about websites all day long.
Wonderful. Yeah, so look out for Jenny, and go and chase her up if you want some for advice on how to design your websites. I'm going to go and stalk her in a minute when I get finished here. Jenny, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing with us your 5 top tips for making a money-making website, and your 3 quick wins that we could do instantly if we wanted to make our client journey better. And I just want to know, before I let you go, have you got any words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
Words of wisdom. Just keep going. Just keep working, and it will all come together. If I've learned anything, you just have to keep moving forward.
Yeah, great advice. I think standing still doesn't get you anywhere, does it?
Yeah.
Jenny, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with me today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.